Go local or go home. It's the Sunday Night Shakedown, Rochester's local music show on 98.9 The Buzz.
98.9 The Buzz, the Sunday Night Shakedown, Rochester's rock and roll show for you every Sunday night from 8 o'clock to 11. We spin the beautiful Rochester rock and roll, and I've been doing it for 209 episodes.
And you have the scars to prove it, my friend.
But when did you join on?
I joined on the 138th episode, I believe.
So for all the math whiz kids out there, I don't know what percentage of the show have you been on, but right within the first few weeks you came on, no sooner did you come on, but you started Shanghaiing the show, and it became the Frank and Woody show, and you brought on this band we have now. They're Foxy Moon Baby.
They were called Foxy Moon Baby at one point in time,
which was the coolest name in the world. Sounded very James Bond chick.
Yeah, there's like a villain in a James Bond movie called Foxy Moon Baby.
But by the time you brought them in, they were called.
At that point, because you fellas were on the show last summer, you were DRL, right?
Yeah, yep. DRL are my initials. At the time, we were in the process of recording. We didn't have a title for it yet. So,
but wait, that's not all. Now they return a year later as Patchwork of the Infinite Mind.
Patchwork of the Infinite Mind.
Oh, are you deliberately trying to confuse everybody?
Yeah, that's the goal. We're going to confuse everybody. Nobody can find us.
So, guys, give us a little bit of a history. I mean, the name has changed radically to protect the innocent. But what's your history? Right. Sum it all up, because it has been a while since you guys have been here.
Well, first of all, I'm Dennis here. We got John over there, who's the drummer, and we got Tom over to my right, who's the engineer and producer. My brother Chris is home. He couldn't make it tonight, but he also does guitars and vocals. And
those lazy guitar players.
Yeah, didn't want to get on. Didn't want to take the trip. But anyway. I'm the composer for the most part. I write the songs, and I have like a long catalog. I've also played with other bands, and we needed a title that would kind of cover the spectrum of our catalog, and Patchwork, meaning like it's bits and pieces of all the work put together.
How many bands actually have like Truth in Advertising in the name of the band, other than you guys?
I don't know. We're trying to be true though,
because the Rolling Stones don't really roll. They were stoned. The Beatles,
they weren't insects; they were humans.
No, Eddie Nebula and a Plague. I mean, I suppose they could be kind of a plague if these guys weren't married. But I mean, I think you guys are probably one of the only bands I know in the world that there's truth in advertising.
That's true.
Well, we have an eclectic catalog. Don't you think, John?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the Foxy Moon Baby stuff was very jazzy and instrumental.
Oh, so the band differs between band names as well?
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's different. It sort of has evolved, although the DRL and the Patchwork name are basically the same project still. But Foxy Moon Baby was very jammy kind of, and a live band mostly, and instrumental and jazzy and experimental in that way. But the DRL and the Patchwork stuff are a little bit more... don't want to say commercial, but a little bit more toward the mainstream, more vocals, shorter arrangements, more straightforward arrangements.
A little more structured.
Yeah.
Indie rock.
But live, do you guys sort of resort back to what you were? I mean, obviously you say within the confines of the band, but do you find yourselves ever going back to forgetting who you are for a minute and thinking you're Foxy Moon Baby again, or DRL? Or?
Well, we try not to... say too much that we're like jam. We still jam, but we're not in that monotonous kind of jamming type of
Let me tell you something. I just wrote about a band a couple weeks ago, J Mood, and we've got a lot of jam bands here. The whole jam idiom, I think, has been given a bad rap because of it's not a bad rap, but sort of a very singular rap because of its association with more of the Deadhead sound. But at this point, the jam band scene is huger than any combined rock and roll scene, and it encompasses, jazz. Mm-hmm. You've got like... who am I thinking of? Like Soul Live bands like that. A lot of these organ-driven bands. Then you've got like North Mississippi All-Stars, who are blues.
Right, very eclectic. It's become very eclectic.
You've got Government Mule, who are kind of classic rock, but they jam. So I mean, I think the sort of the Jerry Garcia singular idea of jam is sort of gone.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been augmented. Yeah,
sure. And people aren't afraid to say jam anymore. So just because you jam doesn't mean you're necessarily a hippie band.
Right, and I don't think that we were. I mean, it's improvisational in nature, but it certainly wasn't. Jamming like in the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. It's funny though. I remember saying this to somebody in an interview. If you describe the philosophy that Jerry Garcia had for free form and construction of solos and jamming and being sort of in the infinite moment, so to speak, you could also describe John Coltrane with the exact same words.
Absolutely. Sure.
But they sound a lot different.
Right.
But it's the same philosophy. But what is your guys' philosophy in writing and jamming and structuring songs?
Well, this album is like, it's got a mainstream form. Like most of the songs are, they're confined to like 4 minutes. So like, your typical like length and song structure, but we still got a little bit of that jam element in there. You hear the guitars taking off for a while.
Is being standard easier or harder? Is it easier to jam and kind of go nuts, or is it easier to kind of have a map?
I don't know. It just benefits to both. Sometimes
a little bit of both, I think.
Yeah.
Well, let's listen to some of the new stuff. This song here is called Metropolis. This is Patchwork of the Infinite Mind on the Sunday Night Shakedown.
Busy streets with no one there. Find it hard to care. Days go fast, how can we last through the year? Air, it seems so unclear. Can someone hear me? Metropolis. On the train, people stare at what's to gain, never looking away, peering down without a thing to say. Some just try to hold on. Isn't anybody out there? Hold on for me. I don't wanna take this if it means I can't be free. Get up early, don't be too late. It's time to go. There is something out there that I need to know how it echoes in my soul.
.9 The Buzz, the Sunday Night Shakedown. That's Patchwork of the Infinite Mind, or as I like to call them, Potima. I think Patchwork of the Infinite Mind. That was their new song, Metropolis, off the new CD. Guys, it sounds excellent.